Assalamualaikum and good morning. Okay, I'm Dr. Fatihah from Faculty Entrepreneurship and Business, Universiti Malaysia, Kelantan. Today our presentation is entitled Decision Support System Framework for Detecting the Learning Style based on Behavioral Modeling. Okay, our team are one Fatin Fatihah Yahya from Universiti Malaysia, Terengganu, me Fatihah Muhammad, and then Nurul, Izyan, Daud, Raihani, Zainol from UMK, and Dr. Norsuhani, Zamin from Riyadh. Okay, our outline presentation today, uh, we go to introduction, and then we have research overview, and then we go to DSS framework, and the last one, we conclude our presentation. Okay. Before we go to our presentation today, I would like to introduce a little bit about myself. I am Dr. Fatihah binti Muhammad, lecturer in Faculty of Entrepreneurship and Business. I'm starting work in UMK first January 2020. Okay, my PhD in Computer Science from Universiti Malaysia, Terengganu. Okay, my research interests include information system, decision support system, artificial intelligence in education and software engineering. Now, I'm involved a few of projects. First, social psychological economic impact of COVID-19 on SME in Kelantan presence and post COVID-19. I'm also involved in component usability evaluation approach project. And my previous project is decision support system for learning style detection using behavioral modeling. So for today, I would like to present about my previous project, which is decision support system for learning style detection using behavioral modeling. Okay, before we go to in-depth of our presentation, I would like to uh, introduce a little bit about adaptive learning. Okay, so adaptive teaching is an educational method which use computer algorithm to organize the interaction with the learner and deliver customized resources and learning activities to address the unique needs of each learner. Uh, it is purpose to provide personalized learning which aims to provide efficient, effective and customized learning path to engage each student with appropriate activities. Okay, my purpose of study is to propose an approach to detect the learning style of a student by analyze her or his interaction during online activities learning. So that we propose an automated learning style detection or LSD based on behavior modeling. Okay, so a little bit about learning style. Learning style is a description of the attitudes and behaviors which can identify or determine an individual's preferred learning content or activities or materials and a way of learning. So mostly LSD is used by teacher or by instructor to recognize each of students' ability. But the problem here is the previous or the manually way or method to identify student ability is by using questionnaire. So based on our study, many previous study agree that questionnaire is less accurate during to complete the questionnaire is a tedious task and tend to choose answers randomly. Okay, so many emotions such as anger, sadness, and happiness resulting different questionnaires answer. Some say it's really biased. Okay, there are a few keywords we will discuss here. First, DSS or Decision Support System. Okay, DSS is a one type of computer system that using models and algorithms uh, such as decision analysis, mathematical programming, simulation, and logical model that used for problem solving and decision making. Okay, it's used to support individuals who are responsible in resolving a problem and making choices based on predetermined criteria. DSS have a few components. First, it must have database. Second, model base. Third, user interface. Fourth, knowledge base, and the last one, reasoning engine. Okay, so we want to elaborate also a little bit about learning style. Learning style is used to detect student preference in learning system, in learning. Okay, so the other keyword here is behavioral modeling. What is the behavioral modeling? So behavioral modeling is a one of method used uh, using user behaviors or action to predict the future decision. Okay, so the last our keyword is VAK or visual audio kinesthetic. This is one of learning style model which is based on VAK parameters. Okay, now we look at to the behavioral modeling. So there are a few studies done by previous researchers about behavioral modeling, how they use behavioral modeling in their study. Okay, Han 2009 used behavioral modeling in detection or in detecting learning style. Okay, so behavioral pattern here involved in their study is time spent completing activity, number of occurrence of activity, and number of completed activities. Okay, the other studies use behavioral modeling in e-learning to automatically identify learning style through student behavior. Okay, uh, behavioral modeling is also used in recommendation system which is involve behavior pattern such as click or purchase behavior, customer rate item value, criticism, value setting to item attributes, and user specific user requirement. And the last one, Kolekar 2014, applied behavior in mobile phone service. Okay, it used it to analyze of past customer behavior in order to predict customer in future. Okay, now we look at your learning style. Actually, so commonly we have many types of learning style: visual, musical, or auditory, verbal, physical or kinesthetic, logical, mathematical, social, and solitary. So, in our research, for this research, we choose learning style, visual, auditory, and kinesthetic. Okay. So what is VAK learning style? Okay, most of the learners or students that prefer learning style with visual, they can see the teacher. Means they can sit in front of the class and uh, can accept the picture or visual given by the teacher and learn from the picture. Okay. Uh, The second learning style is kinesthetic. Most of the students that prefer learning style by kinesthetic or physically is people who involve learning by hands-on approach. Okay, they are very not easy to control them to sitting still. Okay, for long period, for long time. Okay, this group rather demonstrate their body language, then explain by text or by visual. Okay, and they prefer group work. Example, they prefer to play games. Okay, the last group is auditory learning style. This group prefer to learn by lessons, okay, by listening and speaking. They can do discussion in their group, and they also able to listening to others, and they are able to interpret when they listen the instruction. They may read aloud, especially, for example, they learn uh, by music. Okay, this is the base component of DSS. Okay, DSS, like I said before, have a few modules: interface. Okay, it have explanation module, inference engine, active memory, and knowledge base. Okay, so the main components of DSS is inference engine, which module uh, derive a new data or knowledge. Okay, this component is used to generate the result of final decision making. Uh, to generate the result, this module can be developed by applied artificial intelligence, machine learning, or Bayesian method. Okay, so next we go to DSS framework, a proposed DSS framework for VAK LSD. Okay, this learning style detection framework have three phases. First, identification of behavior for each learning style. Second phase is learning style determination, and the last phase is prediction of the learning style. Okay, this framework based on user behavior pattern. Okay, so it is used to support decision makers, uh, the teachers to collect and analyze important information in the process of detecting the learning style. Okay, so we propose this framework in aim to support the teacher to collect the input or to collect the information about the student activities, and then the system will analyze the activities or learners behavior in generating the learning style. Okay, this is figure of DSS framework for our proposed VAK learning style detection. Okay, as I said before, it has three stages. Okay, so now I will go to every phase of framework. Phase one, identify user behavior for every learning style. Okay, this process is conducted to identify the relevant behavior for each learning style. Okay, so for this for this model, we identified four behavioral patterns involved. First, time used for each learning object. Second, number of visits for each learning object. Third, the frequency of visit for each learning object. And fourth, depth of visit for each learning object. Okay, the second phase is to determine learning style from user behavior. Okay, like I said before, the first phase is to identify. Okay, second, we want to means the first is to capture the parameter of behavioral pattern from the activity, and then the second phase is we want to determine the specific learning style for each user, okay, for each learner. There are two processes involved. First, providing data input, and second, we will calculate, okay, or the model will calculate the behavioral pattern parameters for learning style. Okay, this is the algorithm used for calculate of behavioral pattern parameters ratio. There are four uh, four equation involved to calculate ratio of every parameters, and the last equation is to calculate every ratios. Okay, then the phase three is to predict learning style. Okay, this is the last stage. Okay, so this phrase is used to analyze of learning style, and then it will suggest of the learning style. And the last one, the learning style we recommend based on the ranking of the average ratio. Okay, next we go to architecture of GSS. Okay, in this framework we also propose the architecture for GSS for PAKLSD. Okay, this is architecture for our proposed model. Okay, it have three module: interface module, process module, and decision module. Okay, first interface module we uh, capture all user behavior that is uh, uh, every activity have done by the student. Okay, then it will be sent to the system. Okay, in the decision engine, every parameters will be calculated. So the parameter or the behavior that we capture is number of visits, time spent, visit frequency, and visit of depth. Okay, then all the ratio calculation will be sent to the knowledge base, and then it will be generated to classify the learning style by using rule-based technique. And the last module is decision module, which is learning style classification will be sent to be analyzed. Okay, and the last one, uh, user or teacher will be known the learning style for every student based on their behavior, or specifically based on their activity. Okay. Okay, so in this study also we do the primary testing or primary evaluation, which is we do the pilot study testing. In this pilot testing, we involve 20 preschool students. Based on previous study, we found that many other researchers also involve 20 students, 25, 50 students, 30 students. So uh, we believe that the number for pilot study is valid. So uh, the testing is done by user acceptance. Okay, from the user acceptance testing, we found 80% accuracy in predicting student learning style achieved. Okay, this is comparison we done between using Weckless system and uh, manually questionnaire filling by lecturer, filling by teacher. So we got 80% accuracy. So based on the Garcia 27, it said that if the accuracy is more than 65, so it is qualified to accept. Okay. So this is our a few of our class interface. Because of the system or because of the case study is for uh, preliminary student, elementary student. So the interface or the system built is suitable for them, which is involve image, cartoon, the colorful, and many symbols. Okay, this is learning style student report. After the student do the activity and then they complete the activities, the system will generate the interface for teacher that display learning style recommendation. Okay, so it display every score for student A, how many score uh, she got, and what status for every uh, element of learning style she got. Okay, let's say kinesthetic score is 0.72, that means strong. Okay, then the audio is 0.21, weak. So the system advice The learning style for this student is kinesthetic style. Then the system also give study tip suggestion. Okay, this is overall learning style detection based on type learning style for all students. Okay, so the conclusion here is we found that most of the teacher or respondent accept to use the system as the automated system in VAK learning style detection based on student behavior. We believe that this model will be help student or will be help teacher in decision making process in detection of learning style. So before we end our presentation, we'd like to acknowledge to all contributors who have provided their assistance in the completion of the study. Okay, thank you.